Now that we understand nature versus nurture, let's talk about memories. You've already learned that we are born with some genetic influences. However, after birth, we are nurtured by our environment and our interactions in this environment and what we experience in this world. Now, some of those experiences we have had leave a memory, and when we remember them, they appear in the form of a picture, just like a photograph. Now, some memories may be of an amazing time you had at Disneyland with friends when you were 10 years old, and it was so great that it left a lasting memory of that event, even though it may have been 30 years before. This is because it created such strong emotions of happiness and excitement. It's a memory that is hard to forget because it was so awesome and fun. Imagine also that this memory of Disneyland was associated with your father and mother with you and your siblings, and you remember this event and them and the laughing and fun and love you shared together. This is what is called a strong associative memory. It is associated with many concepts and relationships between those concepts. It's not just about what you had for lunch last week. Instead, it's about human concepts that we have experienced in life. For example, concepts such as bonds that we've formed with parents, siblings, and friends. It is about emotional concepts that we have experienced, such as love, happiness, laughter, and other feel-good emotions. It's all these things that make it a strong memory that can be remembered even 30 years later. Now apply this same information to bad memories that have evolved from our lived experiences. That is, the things that cause strong memories due to the associative concepts of human experience. For example, your experience may have involved abandonment by a parent who was always drunk or on drugs and just not present, or a day whereby you remember your father or your mother walked out of the home and never came back. You may have experienced sexual abuse and felt abandoned when you were left alone in the company of a stranger or family member who sexually abused you. You may have felt ashamed, guilty, or you may have felt terrified. You may have experienced terrible fear when you saw your father or mother repeatedly hitting or screaming at each other in anger. These situations and experiences all would have caused strong emotions at the time and are associated with feeling scared, afraid, alone, unsafe, angry, sad, or ashamed. You may have experienced a car accident that made you feel terrible fear as you cried for an hour in the most dreadful pain until someone could come and help you. You may have experienced an intimate partner suddenly leaving you and taking the children with them, and you feel strong emotions of grief, abandonment, loneliness, and anger. This experience may have also created feelings of unworthiness and that you weren't good enough. Even an experience at any age, such as finding a snake under your bed, can become a strong memory that is associated with strong emotions of fear. The same is true if you had a nanny, for example, or someone in your family or a friend who threw buckets of water over your head while trying to wash your hair as a child, while you gasped for air thinking you would drown. That fear you felt would have been a long-term memory that made you also fearful whenever you were near water, in a pool or in the ocean. So all the strong memories are usually remembered, and each of them has strong emotions attached to them. And these differ according to the situation and the emotions that you felt when the incident or the situation actually happened. Hence, when you remember these, even years and years later, the same emotions that you felt at the time of the actual incident usually also emerge. It's like being back in the same place at the same time, reliving the same situation. These life experiences and interactions form memories in the hippocampus, the neocortex, and the amygdala in your brain. Now, you do not have to remember all that. Just keep in mind, however, the last one, and that is the amygdala. That is the fear center of your brain, and it plays a central role in anxiety.